We're honored today to welcome Rocky Bucano, a Bronx visionary whose life's work has shaped music, culture, and community from the ground up. A producer, DJ, executive, and the driving force behind the Hip Hop Museum, Rocky's story starts in the Bronx and blends creativity, mentorship, and legacy into everything he touches. From building artists to building institutions, his impact is undeniable. This is Mixed and Mastered with Rocky Bucano. Welcome to Mixed and Mastered, the podcast where the stories of the music industry come to life. I'm Jeffrey Sledge, bringing you real conversations with the people who have shaped the sound of music. We're pulling back the curtain on what it takes to make it in the music business. These are the stories you won't hear anywhere else, told by the people who live them. This is Mixed and Mastered. Mixed and Mastered podcast in the being built, the amazing Hip Hop Museum. Can't show you everything, but my man Rocky Bucano was very gracious in giving us a tour, and it's going to be phenomenal. But I'm focused on you today, my man, Mr. Rocky Bucano. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, Jeff. Good to have you in the home of hip hop, the Hip Hop Museum.
And we've known each other a very long time.
We have.
Very long time. We kind of started around the same time in the music business. So I want to get started with that. You're a Bronx kid. You're from the Valley, correct?
I'm from the Valley, from the northeast section of the Bronx.
Yeah. About Baychester and all that.
Yep.
So so Jungle Brothers are from there. Is Andre from there? Andre Harrell? Was he from the area?
No, Andre's from Soundview, Rosedale.
Oh, okay.
But Raheem is from the northeast section of the Bronx. Breakout and Baron is from the northeast section of the Bronx. Free from In Touch is from the northeast section.
I went to college with him.
Yep.
Yeah, I went to Morgan State with him.
The Unlimited Touch is from the northeast section.
Wow.
You know, we had a lot of...
you had a lot of people.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
So let's start at the beginning, man. Tell me how your spark happened for music as a kid.
I started at a very young age. My cousin Pete DJ Jones.
Oh, that's your cousin?
That's my cousin.
Wow.
Was the top disc jockey here in New York City.
Yeah.
So I was his little protege.
Okay.
And I used to follow him all around New York City, you know, basically meeting him at the nightclubs, carrying his equipment and his records into the clubs, and basically just sitting behind the entire night watching him play music. And then I got my break to become a professional DJ at age 15 at the Stardust Ballroom.
Wow.
Because
Tell me that story. How did it happen?
So Pete was contracted to play at the Stardust, and I'm sitting behind him. And not even before the party started, he basically said, "Man, I am not feeling good today." And he basically could not play. So he said, "Look, you're going to have to play because, you know, Becky's not here," which was his girlfriend at the time, Becky DJ Jones, and his other proteges were not around. So basically I had to take over, but I had studied all his records and I took over. And long story short, I played just like he was playing.
Okay.
And nobody noticed that he wasn't playing. They just realized that there was somebody else behind the turntables, not him.
But it was rocking though.
And it was rocking. And so the owners of the club came up after and they said to Pete, like, you know, who was the guy that played tonight? He said, "Oh, that's my cousin Rocky." So they came up to me after and said, "Man, you killed it tonight." And they said, "You want to become our house DJ?" And I was like, "Well, I don't have any equipment." They said, "No, we got our own equipment in here, sound system, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
And you can use our sound system." I said, "Well, I don't even have no records. These are all Pete's records." So Pete said, "I'll get you records." So he put me in a record pool. And I was able to join a record pool and get all the records that he had. And even more from the New York record pool, which was all the way down in the Village.
Okay.
And a week later, I'm spinning at the Stardust Ballroom.
At 15, 16 years old.
At 15 years old, I turned 16 that summer.
That's crazy. So I want to talk about that a little bit like this. So, you know, because obviously that's early hip hop.
Yep.
So tell the people what the Stardust Ballroom was and the vibes and the music that was spun there, what it was, because everybody just knows for the most part, people just kind of know the fever. Yeah. But there were many 371. There were many other places what was happening.
Yeah. So you had the Fever, you had Sparkle, you had the Hevalo, you had the T Connection, you had the Stardust.
T Connection.
The Stardust though was really known for having live music with DJs. So groups like Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, Blue Magic, the Stylistics, even Kool and the Gang, Crown Heights Sphere, El Coco.
Crown Heights.
So, think of this, it's 1976, 1977, and really, disco is king in New York.
Yes.
Right? That's all Frankie Crocker and everybody was playing on the record, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes.
OJs.
The Trance. So the Stardust was a disco, but Pete was not just a disco DJ. He played all types of music. He played James Brown. He played Parliament Funkadelics. He played the Blackbirds. He played Kool and the Gang. He played the Incredible Bongo Rock Band. So people get the misconception that the only music that got played in the Stardust was just disco records, which is not true. So long story short, the Stardust played a big role in the emergence of hip hop, because years after I played, because I went to do television after, my equipment had got stolen out of the Stardust. I got into television.
Okay, so let's talk about that.
So long story short, I ended up buying my own sound system.
Okay.
My mother, my sister, and I used to promote parties. So I quickly found out that it wasn't the DJ that was making the money. It was the promoters that were giving the party that was making all the money. So I quickly learned to promote the Stardust and give my own parties. And saved up my money and got my own sound system that was one of the best sound systems in the Bronx.
Okay.
And I had played on a Friday and I was booked for the Saturday. And that was never really the case. It was normally just once a week. But this one weekend, I was booked for 2 nights. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to take my equipment home. I'm going to leave it here because I'm playing tomorrow. Why take it home? I come back the next night.
They got you.
And I walk down the stairs and I'm looking. I see my records, but I don't see my turntable, my mixer. I'm like, well, maybe they put it away. And then I looked on the floor and I said, oh, shoot, my speaker's not there. I said, well, maybe they put it, they stored it away. So I went to the manager, Italian guy named Bruno Bonfiglio. I said, yo,
that was his real name?
That's real name.
Bruno Bonfiglio.
Little short Italian guy.
Okay.
And I said, yo, Bruno, my equipment is not here. Did you guys put it away? He's like, why would we put it away? So I went to the back because there was a back storage place where they put the chairs and tables. And I went back there to look at it. And I was like, oh, wow, my shit is not here. So his nephew, who managed the club, came a couple hours later. I was like, yo, Kevin, my equipment is going. It's like, what do you mean your equipment is going? It's not here. It's like somebody broke in and stole my equipment.
Damn.
And to me, it was an inside job because no one really would know that I was leaving my equipment there overnight. Yeah. So long story short, that was like the beginning of the end of my reign as a DJ, not as a promoter, but as a DJ with the Stardust. And then maybe a year and a half later, I started to work in television. And my first job in television was in Texas.
Really?
Yep. I worked for a ABC affiliate in Beaumont, Texas, the armpit of the nation. Petrochemicals.
Yeah. I
mean,
that's where you Beaumont's right next to Port Arthur. That's where UGK's from. So I've been in that area before. It is the armpit.
It's the armpit.
Piece the bun B, but it's not.
And I was like, yo, a New York kid in Beaumont, Texas, working in television. I said, you know what? I deal with it.
Okay.
And this is the time that everybody started to make records now. Curtis made a record. Flash and them made a record. The Funky 4+1 made a record. And I'm in Texas, and the people that I was with as a DJ are now making records.
And you out in Texas?
Yeah, I'm feeling a certain kind of way. But I remember Russell and Curtis coming to Beaumont to perform at Lamar University.
Wow.
and they did a nightclub the night before they did Lamar University.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to go check them out at the nightclub. I was like, yo, I'm here, man. They're like, what are you doing here in Beaumont? I said, I'm working in television. And the sound system at the club was terrible. And Russell's in a panic. And he's like, yo, Rock, you got to help us, man. The sound system's whack. I'm like, yo, Russ, they got this closer. It ain't going to get no better.
Yeah, it is what it is.
And he came there to perform Christmas rapping. That was the first time I actually saw Curtis perform live Christmas rapping. And then a couple weeks later, here comes Flash and the Furious 5. And I was like, now I can see that this evolution of, you know, what we were doing in the parks is now becoming commercialized.
Yeah, starting to happen.
So I moved from Beaumont to Houston.
Okay.
After about 8 months working in Houston, in Beaumont. I worked for another station in Houston, but I started to get back into DJ in Houston. I was working with a black promoter named Charles Bush.
Okay.
He was the biggest club promoter in Houston. He owned all the nightclubs.
Okay.
And basically, he gave me a shot. There was a club right across the street from the television station called Pizzazz in like a strip mall. And I would go on Thursdays and Fridays when I wasn't working at the station. I would DJ. And my style of DJing was like New York.
Down
Down there, they would just pick it up the needle and put it down.
The record play to the end, and they just yeah.
But me, I'm
you
mixing the record.
In,
They're like, yo, how come the music doesn't stop?
Yeah.
So it was a whole new vibe, and Charles and I became really good. And he put me in all his clubs. I was in Faces. I was in the Tyler Rose, which was Earl Campbell's nightclub, and I became to develop a name of, you know, being this DJ from New York that people from all over Houston would come check out. And then I met a guy from New York. His name was Robert Caldwell, and his father was working, you know, for one of the gas companies, oil companies. Okay. And he came in. He's like, "Yo, man, I knew you wasn't from Houston, man. The way you was playing that music." And I said, "Yeah." So we became really good friends, and he and I decided, you know what, it's time to leave, man. It's time to go back home.
So you came back.
So I came back. And I tried to get a job with Sony Music, you know, because a guy, I forget his name, but he was one of the promoters for Epic Records.
Okay.
And he came to my going away party. He's like, yo, man, I love the way you play music, man. You ever thought about working in the music business? I said, not really. I said, man, you should go, you know, when you go back to New York, give so-and-so a call.
Mm-hmm.
So I went, and it was like, nah. No job. So I basically said, all right, what am I going to do? So I sent my resume to a couple stations, and I got a job with Channel 9, WWR.
Yeah, WWR, yeah.
Yep. And I became the technical director for the Mets. So all the live Mets baseball games from Shea Stadium, I was the guy in the control room switching the cameras during the baseball game.
Wow.
So I worked with the Mets from 1982 to 1987.
Oh, so that's a run. That's a 5-year run.
Yeah, so I was there basically when they won the World Series in 1986.
Oh, yeah, with Dal Strawberry and them. Yep.
So I was a guy switching the cameras, working on that. And then I got into the news side of the station. Then I got into the production side. And that's where I started my record company. My first record company was with my friend Milton LaCroix, and Milton LaCroix was a club promoter, but he was a street hustler, and very good friend of mine. And he used to work with M. Morton Hall, who used to give all the concerts in New York City.
Okay.
So he brought me back and forth with M. Morton Hall, doing concerts at the Beacon, Avery Fisher Hall, all over New York City. And one day, he met me at the station. And he said, yo, Rock, I got this little kid up in Harlem. You ain't going to believe him. He plays the piano like a wizard. I saw him at the Apollo playing the piano. His name is Teddy Riley. So Milton and I went up to Harlem into the projects, and we sat down and talked to Teddy. Teddy was like 15 years old.
Yeah, St. Nick, right? He was living in St. Nick.
St. Nick Projects. And he had his little Casio keyboard. And Milton said, play something for my partner, Rocky. And he's up there. I'm like, oh, shit, this kid is nice. So Milton tells him, say, we're going to put you in the studio. So we leave, and Milton says, I got a group that I want you to hear up in New Rochelle called Masters of Ceremony. So we drive up to New Rochelle, and Masters of Ceremony's manager, his name was Bill Brickle, had a demo tape of some of their songs. And it was Grand Puba, Doctor Who, Shabazz, and the song was dope, but it wasn't what, we thought would be like fantastic. But we said, we just met a producer that we want to take you guys, put you guys in the studio with this guy named Teddy Riley, little kid that plays the piano, and let's see if we can produce something. And we came up with the song Crime, which was Masters of Ceremony's first record.
Wow.
And Teddy's first record.
That's his first record?
First record.
I didn't know that. I thought Teddy's first record, I know he obviously did the Dougie and stuff and Rob Bates. I thought those were his first records.
Crime.
And we'll be right back.
Welcome to Merrick Studios, where stories take the mic and culture comes alive.
We're not just a network, we're family, bringing you smart, soulful, unfiltered conversations.
In this season, we're bringing the heat with our biggest lineup yet. Whatever you're into, music, sports, business, we got you covered.
Merrick Studios, where the conversation starts and keeps going.
Check out our full lineup, including Unglossy with Bun B, Jeffrey Sledge, and myself, Tom Frank. Now streaming at wearemerrickstudios.com.
Master the art of lyricism with Pendulum Mink, the first school for rap. Learn elite techniques through immersive lessons, real-world exercises, and guidance from hip-hop icons. This is where MCs sharpen their skills and glow boldly on the mic. Ready to level up? Visit pendulummink.com and start your journey today.
And now, back to the show.
Crime was his first record. And the funny thing is, Barry Weiss at Jive loved the record.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to take me and Teddy and send us to England to go record an album for the group.
Yep.
But somehow he fell in love with Teddy. And he's like, no, I'm okay. And then I found out later that he gave Teddy a publishing deal.
Yeah, about to say they published, Zamba published Teddy's music. Yeah. Yeah.
And then he started to produce the Classical 2 and all the groups came after that. So that reign ended with me and Milton after, we couldn't get the deal with Jive.
Mm-hmm.
I would still go around and promote the record at different nightclubs. So I went to Danceteria and Jazzy J was coming out of Danceteria. And I said, yo, man, here's Master Ceremony's record. He's like, yo, dude, I've been looking for this record. I love this record. I said, yo, he said, can I work with the group? Jazzy said, can I work with the group? I said, you want to work with the group? I'm like, yo, let's. So I met Jazzy at his studio up in the Bronx.
Okay.
And we sat down and we vibed, and he was telling me about his issues with Russell and Rick Rubin.
Yeah, with It's Yours and all that.
It's Yours and Def Jam. I'm like, yo, don't worry about it, man. I said, you and I could start our own company. And he's like, word? He's like, where are we going to get the money? I said, I'll put up the money to start our own record company. So we created Strong City Records.
That was you?
Yep, me and Jazzy.
I never knew. I always, that's crazy. I assumed Strong City was like some Long Island shit.
Nope, Strong City.
I did not know that was you.
If you look at on the records on the label, you'll see 120-8L Alcott Place, which was my apartment in the Bronx. Right. So anyway, long story short, so Jazzy and I teamed up, and we signed Masters of Ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
And their first record that we put on Strong City was Cracked Out.
Cracked Out.
And that record,
all my friends do it.
and the record took off like a bat out of hell. And then after that, we put out Busy Bee Suicide, and that shit took off like a bat out of hell. And then after that, we dropped Sexy with Master of Ceremony and Don Barry. So we had three big records.
Fire.
And then Stupid Me, Jazzy would blame me. I was in the Red Parrot with Timmy Registry.
Okay.
And, everybody used to go to the Red Parrot. And Gail Sky King, she was DJing.
Gail Sky King, yep.
And she put on Busy Bee's Suicide, and the crowd went nuts. And Timmy never heard the record before, because he's a house DJ.
He's a house guy. Yeah. It's club music.
And so we're standing by the DJ booth, and he's like, yo, this record is crazy. Whose record is this? And I was like, yo, dude, that's my record. He's like, what? This is your record? He's like, what are you trying to do with it? I'm like, what do you mean what I'm trying to do with it? He's like, are you looking for distribution? What are you looking for with this record? I said, I'm at MCA. And I was like, let me talk to Jazzy about it.
Mm-hmm.
So a couple days later, I went to the studio and met with Jazzy and said, Timmy wants to have a meeting with us to talk about, Busy's record, maybe an album deal, maybe a distribution deal, blah, blah, blah. He's like, fuck Timmy. I'm like, yo, man, don't do that, man. Let's, don't turn that down. He's like, man, you go do the meeting, not me.
Wow.
So I went down there, and Timmy's in his office, and he's playing Busy Bee's record. And Gerald Busby walks by the office, and then he does a beeline back to Timmy's office. He's like, yo, who's that? He's like, that's Busy Bee. This is Rocky's record. Gerald Busby said, that's my son's favorite record. He's like, yo, Timmy, do whatever you got to do to get that record.
Wow.
So that turned into a distribution deal.
Okay.
For Strong City with MCA, but under the Uni Records umbrella.
Okay.
And Uni was a relaunched division of MCA. So it was Strong City, and it was Eric B. and Rakim on Uni.
Wow.
And that's Follow the Leader. On MCA, they had Heavy D and the Boys.
Yeah,
they had Uptown.
Mm-hmm.
Hello. What up, Donna? How you doing? They had all the monsters.
Yeah.
But in addition to that, they had New Edition. They had Bobby Brown.
Mm-hmm.
They had Jody Watley.
Mm-hmm.
So I would get on the conference calls, and the conference calls would start 11 o'clock and like 2. And by the time we got to 2 o'clock, now they want to talk about the Uni record
about
stuff.
Your shit at the end.
At the end. By that time, everybody's sleeping on the phone.
And look, hungry,
I'm like, all right, I see the way this is going to work out. Nobody's paying attention to what we're doing. We were doing better as an independent more than, so Jazzy's upset, I'm upset. Long story short, that deal did not work out for us.
Yeah.
So I ended up leaving Jazzy. I gave Jazzy Strong City Records. I started an independent marketing company called Third Rail.
I remember that.
So, guys used to come to me, and I had the street teams, and I used to get the records on the mix shows, college radio, put them in the stores.
Mm-hmm.
And I did everyone. I did MCA, I did Sony, I did everybody.
Yeah.
So I get a call from Glenn Friedman, who shot Run DMC and LL and Public Enemy. And he said, Russell just had an interesting conversation with L.A. Reid and Babyface. They're looking for somebody to help them launch a new record label. And Russell mentioned your name. I said, really? So he said, yeah, give LA's assistant Charlotte a call. So I called Charlotte, and she said, oh yeah, they want to come, they want to meet with you to talk about a new record company with Dallas called Rowdy Records, blah, 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 blah. So I said, all right. They said, well, can you fly out to Los Angeles to meet with L.A. Reid and Face? So I flew out to Los Angeles. They were working on the Boomerang soundtrack. And they told me about what they were doing with Dallas, this new label. They wanted to make a hip-hop label. Because they had LaFace, but they wanted a stronger hip-hop presence.
Yeah, because LaFace is straight R&B.
Yep. So they teamed up with Dallas, and so they liked what I had to offer. And now they wanted me to meet Dallas. So they flew me to Atlanta to meet Dallas. I met Dallas. And I'm sitting in LA's house in his, basement. And there's a guy sitting over there. And I'm sitting over here. And I'm waiting for LA, and Dallas to come, not knowing that Dallas is that guy over there. Yeah, he's just looking at me.
Yeah, he's saying, yeah.
So LA says, all right, you guys ready to go have lunch? And now we get to lunch and we break ice and we talk. And they make me the executive vice president and general manager to help launch Rowdy.
Wow, with Monica and everybody else.
Well, it wasn't Monica first. It was You're So Stupid, The King and I.
Okay.
And then Illegal. This
Illegal, yeah. The two little kids.
two little kids.
Yeah, yeah.
And then Monica came after that. But to get to Monica, we had to go through some crazy stuff.
I can't even imagine, because she was a kid too back then.
Oh my God. It was nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, the group was dope, but they were nuts.
So did you have anything to do with LaFace directly, or you were just on the Rowdy side?
So we would help, give advice to L.A. Reid on his promotion stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But he had his own team.
Yeah, his own squad, yeah.
But Rowdy was separate. But,
Yeah.
we would go in the office and share, but we had our own office in the city on 18th Street.
I remember. Yeah, they were around the corner from Bad Boy.
Yeah, well, actually, Bad Boy became our office. So after we left, Bad Boy took our space.
Okay,
And
okay.
that became the Bad Boy office.
Okay.
So, that's my journey. After that, I teamed back up with Teddy to help him clean up
that mess.
New Jack Swing.
Yeah.
And I helped launch the first Blackstreet album with Dave Hollister.
Which was
and Levi.
5 million?
Huh?
What, 4 or 5 million albums, that first one?
Which one?
The first album did 4 or 5 million, didn't it?
It did several million.
It was a huge record.
Oh, yeah. Album, Before I Let You Go was,
it was huge.
Was a crazy smash.
Mm-hmm.
The best part about it was that I helped renegotiate a production deal for Teddy.
Good.
That allowed him to do production with Interscope artists and other artists, and it got him out of a MCA mess that he was in.
Yeah.
So that was the best part of it. And then after that, I got out of the music business, and I was basically not trying to be in music anymore.
You was burnt out.
I was like, yo, this is nuts.
Mm-hmm.
And I got into teaching. I did adult ed, and then my son, was maybe 7 to 8 years old, and I wanted to put him in a basketball program. So I put him in the Gauchos program.
Right around here.
Right around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And the Gauchos became a weekend thing for me to really, get back into my love for basketball.
Okay.
And the program was so dysfunctional. I would go over there and there'd be 100 kids and 2 coaches. I'm like, oh my God, this is nuts. So I would go down there and start to volunteer.
Okay.
To help. And the parents loved it because I was given organizational skills. Structure became, a polished thing.
Mm-hmm. Anybody that you worked with that doing Win Pro?
Oh yeah. Met Kemba Walker, Kyrie Irving.
I figured. Oh, Kyrie played Gauchos? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he played for like 2 years.
Okay.
I'll show you a picture later.
Yeah.
There were other guys that, came in the league but didn't stay long in the league.
Yeah.
But the Rucker used to play all their rain games in the Gaucho gym, and they would have big national games, and kids from all over used to come to Gauchos.
Gauchos was major.
So I would see Donovan Mitchell, who's now playing with the Cleveland Cavaliers. I saw all these guys when they were in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I was at the Gauchos for 13 years.
Oh, wow. I knew that long.
From 2000 to 2013.
Okay.
And the idea for where we are today, the Hip Hop Museum, was born at the Gauchos gym.
So let's get to the museum, because this is incredible.
Yeah. So, at the Gauchos, a couple real estate developers came and wanted to meet with me to talk about an opportunity to expand the Gauchos gym to another part of the Bronx.
Okay.
The Kingsbridge Armory.
Like a bigger space.
A bigger space.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, listen, if you can help us get a bigger space and it's not going to cost us any money, we'll give it a go. We'll see where it ends.
Mm-hmm.
So the board gave me the approval to go ahead and pursue it, not knowing where it would end up. And long story short, these developers wanted to create the Kingsbridge Armory into a sports arena that had a velodrome for bicycle racing and other different types of sports.
Mm-hmm.
But they would give the Gauchos like five courts. So instead of just having 1 court, now we would have that gym plus 5 more
courts
in the West Bronx.
Mm-hmm.
But in order to get through the process to bid on this Kingsbridge Armory, you needed to prove that you had the financing
of course
to back your project. So they got disqualified. So the city of New York said they're not going to go.
Mm-hmm.
But the city of New York was so excited about the Gauchos trying to expand that they called me up and they said, Rocky, if the Gauchos is willing to stay in the process, we're teaming you up with another developer that we think has a better shot.
The capital. Mm-hmm.
And has the capital. And they teamed me up with this Korean real estate developer named Young Woo.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay.
And his story is crazy. I'm not going to tell you too much about his story, but his idea was to create an open market with sports and entertainment and give the Gauchos a space to have another program.
Okay.
And he is from Korea, South Korea,
Mm-hmm.
but his family moved to Argentina, South America. And that's where the Gauchos name originated from Argentina. Because the countrymen are called Gauchos.
Yes.
The founder of the Gauchos program is from Argentina.
It makes perfect sense.
When he came to the gym to meet me, Young Woo, and he saw all the banners of Stephon Marbury, Mark Jackson, all the NBA greats that came out of the Gauchos hanging on the ceiling. He's like, why do you call the program Gauchos? And I told him, I said, the founder, Lou Dalmeda, is from Argentina. And we became really good friends after that.
Okay.
So me and Young Woo, and we're still tight to this day.
Mm-hmm.
And so about 3 months into the process, now it's down to two developers. It's Young Woo and it's Mark Messier and Sarah Hughes bidding on the Kingsbridge Armory.
Mark Messier, the hockey player.
The hockey player. They wanted to turn it into a ice skating palace.
Yeah, but not in the Bronx. That's not going to work.
But here's the crazy side. So it's Young Woo, Mark Messier. So Young Woo comes to me and says, Rocky, I love the Gauchos, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to make me win. I need something that the community can really rally behind. What do you think we could put in here? And I said, yo, if you got the money, build a hip hop museum. I said, you'll be loved by everybody in the community.
And the Bronx hip hop started.
So he's like, what do you know about hip hop? Then I had to tell him.
You had to break it down.
I had to break it down to him.
Yeah.
So once he saw that, he said, look, if you could get some of the legends to politic and advocate for me, and if I win, I'll build you guys a museum. He ended up losing because Mayor Bloomberg and the city of New York thought it was better to build an ice skating palace
in the Bronx
than the hip hop museum and all the other things that Young Woo was trying to build. So he lost. And when he lost, I was like, damn, man, we came so close.
Mm-hmm.
So I said to myself, I got to keep this thing going. So the Gauchos got upset at me because now I'm focused on the hip hop museum. They're like, oh, you're not into the Gauchos no more? You're into this hip hop thing? Get out of here. So they let me go.
Okay.
And that started a 16-year journey to build what I'm sitting into.
What we're in right now.
Correct.
And now again, we can't show it, and we don't want to reveal anything before it's time, but take it from me, it's very real and it's happening. As you can hear, it's happening. It's not like a talking and maybe, this is about to be an amazing museum. It's going to be an incredible museum.
Yeah. So this is $100 million project. It's 57,000 square feet, 2 floors. It's in the best location for a hip hop museum because we're right on the Harlem River.
Mm-hmm.
We have 542 units of 100% affordable housing sitting on top of us. And in this museum, it's a celebration of the global history of hip hop, not just the local history or the New York history. It's the global history. Everyone, and, think of this as your home. If you're in, an MC or you're a DJ producer, you work in the record business, you're a publicist, you're a film, video producer. Mm-hmm. Our job is to really celebrate the people who help elevate the culture and help make it become this global phenomenon that it has become.
Yes.
And I think we're doing a great job because everybody that comes in here, their first impression is, wow, I didn't expect it to be so big.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm really proud of the work that the team is putting into designing the space and and it's going to be amazing when we open next year.
Absolutely. I mean, I remember I lived not far from here. I was telling my Tom, I used to ride my bike over all the time to go to the Target. So I really watched this thing from nothing. I remember this was nothing. It was just dirt.
It's just dirt.
So to grow into what this is becoming is incredible, man. It's incredible. Really, really proud of you, man. And really appreciate you sitting down with us. This is dope, man. This was dope. And I learned a lot. I learned a lot. You know, you was like, you don't know much. I was like, I learned some stuff, but I learned a lot. I didn't know about the Gauchos. I didn't, I kind of had forgotten even about the Dallas Ellis and stuff. So this is incredible, man. Really appreciate it. Oh, I do these quick questions. Give me 3 of your favorite DJs ever.
My favorite DJs?
Ever. Any genre, any whatever.
Club DJs or radio DJs?
Whatever you want to do. However you want to do it. It's your call.
So Pete DJ Jones would be number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Grandmaster Flowers from Brooklyn would be number 2.
Okay.
And Frankie Crocker would be number 3.
Dope. Give me 3 of your favorite artists.
3 of my favorite artists. Michael Jackson would be number 1. Big fan of the Jackson 5, but Michael Jackson would be number 1. Number 2 would be Luther Vandross would be number 2, and Marvin Gaye would be number 3.
Okay. Last question. Give me 3 of your favorite places to eat in the Bronx.
Favorite places to eat in the Bronx. So I'm from the Valley, and we all used to go to Nick's Pizza up on Gun Hill Road.
Okay.
So that would be 1. The Lobster House in City Island would be number 2.
Okay.
And number 3 would be El Barrio, which is a new Puerto Rican restaurant in Castle Hill.
Okay. No love for Zona de Cuba?
It's gone.
I know. They shut it down. Shut the man Fernando down. But yeah, thank you, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
This was fun, right?
Yeah.
This was fun. So before we go, please give everybody all the information about where they can go for the website, for all the information about the museum.
So to find out more information about the Hip Hop Museum, you could go to our website, which is thhm.org, or you can follow us on social media. Our tag is THH Museum.
Okay.
On Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn,
everything.
YouTube, Twitch, everything.
Yeah, and we'll make sure we tag it in the comments below. Cool. You can catch Mixed and Mastered on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, or wherever you get your podcasts. Hit that follow button, leave a review, and tell a friend. I'm your host, Jeffrey Sledge. Mixed and Mastered is produced and distributed by Merrick Studios.